Johnny Storm. Why don't you come over here so everybody can see you? Buffy, you got to come over on this side. Welcome to the office hours, guys. Always love to talk about cats. So when I have the opportunity to talk with you about cats, I'm gonna take it. So one of the topics right away today, and if you have questions, please let me know. But one of the topics that I definitely wanted to get into is we talk a lot about how to introduce cats to other cats. But I had a question from a club member who asked that I not use her name, so we'll just call her Holly, because she felt a little foolish. She's never had a cat before, and she was super excited. She met a cat out at an adoption event, a little tabby, and it called to her, and she was like, "I just felt like this is my cat." And so he was so loving and caring in the store. And by the way, she adopted from a rescue. She said, but as soon as I got home and I let him out, he went and hid under the couch, and I've barely seen him, and it's been 3 days. And I thought, you know what? I haven't really ever talked about, I think because I'm just so used to everybody has a gazillion cats like I do. We haven't really talked about how to just introduce your cat to a new home, right? Like, let's say you have no other cats, you have no dogs, you have no children. Let's just say you are like Holly and you are bringing a cat home for the first time and you don't know what to do. There is a way to introduce your cat to your home, and it really is very similar to how you set your cat up when you're introducing a new cat into a home that has cats. The reason that your cat seems so friendly in the store is probably because there were a lot of familiar things for that. Even though they, been in a cage or a crate at the store for a while, they've gotten comfortable in it. They know that they're safe there. They know that they get fed every day at a certain time, that their litter box gets clean, that they always have enough water. So there's a routine, even if it's not the routine that we want them to have, which is to be in a good forever home. So when you take them out of that routine, even if the cat was super friendly and loving and you had a great interaction when you went and adopted at the store, you have now put them into a situation that they know nothing about and do not feel safe about. So your new kitty, your new little tabby, is not responding to the fact that he doesn't want to be your pet. He's responding to the fact that your home is super big and he doesn't know if it's safe. So when we talk about introducing cats to other cats, where do we start them? And what do we talk about? We talk about a safe cat is a happy cat. So let's start with the fact that if you can put that cat in a small room, so this is what we do, no matter what, no matter how many cats you have, one cat coming home, no cats in the house, have a small room prepared, okay? And it's got a litter box. If you've adopted from a shelter or a rescue, if there's anything you can send, get them to send home with you. If there's a towel that was in the crate that they were in, if there's a toy that they played with, anything that can be familiar that gives them some sense of this is mine, try to bring that with you. So ask the shelter or rescue if there's something that you can take home with you. I am very fortunate when we adopted Buffy and Giles, who you can see back here. Hi, Giles. You want to come say hi? This is, yeah, my foster mom, Marie, sent blankets home. So Marie makes blankets for all of her fosters, and so they lay on them while she is in their foster situation with her, and when they get adopted they have a blanket that goes with them. Not every foster can do that, but even if there's a toy, something that's familiar, even if you don't have that, the small space where you can have some food they're familiar with, so ask the shelter or rescue what food they were eating. Pay attention to what kind of bowls they have. Were they eating out of a stainless steel bowl? Can you get a stainless steel bowl that's similar? Same with water. Anything that can seem familiar, but have the basics. Have food out and show the cat immediately you have food, you have water, and you have a litter box. And those things right there are going to be the three basics, but have it in a small space so that they can get used to I have everything that I need to survive. Now maybe I can explore. Have some, fun toys for them to explore and get used to. So it really is very, again, very similar to, bringing a cat into a multi-cat household or a household with dogs. You want to start with the small space. Once they seem friendly, you may even have a cat that's like, hey, let me out of here, right? Like, don't keep them in a room because some blog said keep the cat in a room for at least a week. If the cat wants out and wants to explore, that is awesome. Do that. However, make sure that you are offering them the ability to explore again in small doses. So maybe move them to a new room and show them you have food, you have water, you have litter, or you have access to that room where you know it is, so that they're not all of a sudden like, wait a second, where are my basics? I had them in that room and now I'm in a different room and I don't know if I have them anymore. So you want to make sure that they still feel safe. So you can, swap them into a different room for a while. You can just give them access. Maybe if your bedroom goes right out into the living room, and you want to just open that up and then maybe open up a spare room later or let them into the kitchen. But the key, and I hope this is helping you, Holly, with your new little tabby, is to go really slow and remember that your house, even though it may seem small to you, is a huge new world to them. So keeping the basics for them, allowing them to go at their pace to explore. But yes, it is, it is very normal for even the most loving, confident cat in a shelter setting. If it's, you just set that cat free. Look at those haps. Go, Buffy. If you just set that cat free into a new home, it is just a environment around any corner. Is there a dog? Is there another cat? Are there other humans that are going to be scary? They don't know. So your job is to just keep it slow, keep it small, keep it simple, keep them safe. A safe cat is a happy cat. So yes, if you are just bringing a cat home, you have no other animals, you still need to do an introduction period. And there is, in general, the rule is 3 days to acclimate, 3 weeks to where they should be feeling confident that this is now their environment, and 3 months before you actually see their full personality. They are totally integrated. They feel completely safe to be exactly who they are, to play. So thank you very much, Holly, for your question on how to introduce one cat. I love that. Again, I haven't really thought about that. So I hope that helps. Keep us posted on your new addition. Post pictures in the cat club. And then, the last thing I wanted to do with the office hours is that I've had a lot of questions specifically about our kitty cats. Me behind Grayson is, I'm not a weather person. Grayson is getting a nice nap here. Rabbits at our door because we're out there. So the ducks are kind of coming and going in the cold weather, but our squirrel and our cats, because the biggest question I got wasn't necessarily about anything going on with your cats, but what's going on with my cats. I appreciate how much you love them. Grayson is doing great. We are going to next week, I think, is we implements really are bringing down the liver numbers, keeping the kidney numbers in check. Johnny, come get chicken over here. So join me to see my cats. And then they literally, like, Giles is right here. Come here, buddy. Come here. From a behavior standpoint, I will tell you, Grayson is amazing. He is eating well. He is kind of back to some of his old habits. He is bathing. He's actually, as you can see he's not actually in a house. He's laying body. He's staying warmer because he's put weight on. That we did we've started, I should say we, Patches, wonderful cat dad, is pureeing his, even though his soft food doesn't have a lot of chunks in it, it still has chunks in it. And it seems like if anything kind of gets into the mouth where he has to chew it all, he just shakes his head and he doesn't want it. So he's not even trying to go after like chicken or kibble anymore. So we're sorry about the fact that as long as we keep his food, nice and basically soupy, he's eating well and he's playing and he's loving life. And, we'll just see. For Wintel, I would expect that his added milk thistle in, which is really good for helping any kind of liver that is stressed. So we'll see. So all good with Grayson. Melody is slowly but surely showing some really positive signs. For those of you who don't know, I guess I should have specified with Grayson what was going on was liver related, and also he was having what could be another flare of stomatitis. So we feel like we got all of that under control. She has been diagnosed now with kind of what they call, it's a disease when we can't really figure out why, but we know that the bladder is inflamed and it hurts. It's not infection. None of the normal stuff has worked. It just, she had an ultrasound and the walls were thicker than usual. And that, again, was also about 3 weeks ago. It was almost a month because it was before I went to London. So we couldn't really do the new medicine that the doctor wanted to do because she's on an anti-anxiety medication, and this medicine that helps. I'm going to shift a little bit so everybody can see me. Good boy. So I started, we are about 2.5 weeks in to switching Melody slowly from this antidepressant that she's been on to the new one. And we have seen some really good improvement. She has been rolling around in the mornings and spending my meditation time in the morning. I let the kittens out of their bedroom, and that becomes my meditation room. And so they're downstairs here with all of the other cats hanging out. And Melody's been up with me, and she actually has gotten very excited because we have a full-size gate up. Giles has been coming to visit, and she's actually been showing her belly to him, rolling around. She's stretching more. Like it's clear from her behavior that her bladder is getting some relief. And we are, just so happy. So, what they call it is lower urinary disease, I think is what it's called, but lower urinary disease. There might be another word I'm missing, maybe lower urinary tract disease. But it's basically the catch-all for this cat is having pain in its bladder, and we don't exactly know why, but we're going to treat it with things that make the bladder relax and feel better. And so it's going really well. So hopefully, she'll keep getting braver. Again, we go back to cat behavior. Melody hasn't really wanted to be around the other cats. She hasn't been super social because if you ever had a bladder infection, that's basically what it feels like, except it's not an infection. It's just an ongoing pain. And I can't imagine living like that. So, we're having some conversations about if we don't see improvement, how long are we going to talk about quality of life? But we are seeing improvement. So, it's a huge difference in just a couple of weeks. So Melody is doing very well. Definitely on the upswing, it seems, and hopefully this medicine will have a long-term effect for her. Grayson is doing very well, and everybody else is pretty happy. Amelia's been a little weird lately. She had an interaction with Johnny Storm that wasn't super pleasant. And I think she's taking her time deciding whether or not she wants to feel safe around him. It wasn't like nobody was hurt or anything, but Johnny doesn't have an off switch. I mean, we've discussed it with the doctor and really think that there's some sort of like brain issue that he just doesn't know how, he doesn't read cues well, if that makes sense. So occasionally he misreads a cue and he gets into, chase mode and he just doesn't understand stop. And so we have to do something to interrupt the behavior and make sure everybody's safe. Because what he's trying to do is be safe, right? He's not trying to be mean. Something has triggered him to feel unsafe. And if that thing is Amelia, he's going to get Amelia away, right? It doesn't matter how much they've loved each other. If his brain says that's the thing that is the threat, that he's being a cat. We just have to be mindful of the fact that some of his cat reactions may not be in his control and maybe due to more of a some sort of health issue. You remember he had a virus when he was young and developing. So there may be some things that didn't develop as well as they should have. But that's okay. We love our Johnny Storm. So that's office hours. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for being here with me. If you have questions, I started this because I want to be able to help you. I want to be able to make sure that if someone says, hey, I'm super stressed about my cat. Hello. Hi, Bill. I'm super stressed about my cat. I know what it's like in that moment to need answers right now. So I'm trying to create some resources. So for us in this one, if you're just tuning in, we discussed introducing a new cat to a new environment. And regardless of if that is, say, you've got a new cat and you're bringing it home for the first time, or let's say you're moving. I also have a client named Pam who's in the process of moving, and we've been discussing how to introduce the cats to a new home. Even if it's, we talk a lot about how to introduce other cats, but this particular episode, if it does help you with these office hours to go back, is a resource to help you if you are introducing any cat of any age to a new home, how to start simple and make sure that you are taking those steps to ensure that your cat feels safe. Because, as I say, a safe cat is a happy cat. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, please feel free to reach out if you have questions for our next office hours. Follow the KJ's Cat Club on Facebook. It is a private group that allows you to ask questions in a setting where you don't have to feel bad. No one's going to judge you. They just are going to help, right? And if we don't know the answers, we find the answers. So we're almost to 1,000 members, and everybody is just very nice. We have fun cat memes that make us laugh and videos that make us laugh, and then we share information and resources to help everybody have their best life. I want you to have the best experience possible with your cat. That's what I'm trying to do with mine. That's what we all want when we bring a cat into our home, is to have a really great experience. And the more we learn about them, the safer we make them feel, the better the experience is. So a safe cat is a happy cat. I'm KJ, your kitty correspondent. Join me, kjscatclub.com. And remember that you can also follow along with me on my social media. Just go to kjonsocial.com to pick your favorite social media account and follow me there. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your lunch if you're eating right now, and we'll talk to you again soon.